Somatic experiencing is a trauma healing methodology that was developed by Dr. Peter Levine, right? And so it's become one of the premier, if you will, trauma healing methodologies that are out in the spaces today. And so having been taught in that work, right, and guided by that work, we infuse some of those things into the yoga practice in order to support the issues being released from our tissues, right? So there's some specific things that are going on in the yoga practice in order to kind of support that, given we brought them all up in the sharing circle. We brought things up in the sharing circle, right? And we've been doing that now. Raja Visar now has been around since 2003. So we've been doing this for a while. I'm so grateful.
It's amazing, right? So Y12SR is basically, it's a meeting. It's similar to a 12-step share in the fact that it has its own format, right? It has its own autonomy. Like the person who's Y12SR leaders, you do have a training process where people get a certificate of completion to be trained to lead Y12SR, right? And to invite people to attend and or to bring it into treatment centers, institutions, hospitals, wherever they feel called to bring it to. I just love it. I'm a Y12SR leader. Like I said, I took your training, I want to say 2014, 13.
You're an old head, right?
Yeah, I'm an old head. And I have to say for 5 years, every week at a residential treatment center here where I live, I would go in, and it not only edified my own recovery, being able to share Y12SR with others. I've also have done it here at the clinic that I now work at Connections Counseling, but where we're all just sitting around. Oftentimes, if it's nice outside, we sit out in the grass, we take our shoes off, we get grounded into the earth, and breath, right? Connecting with breath and each other. And I love what you said about yoga. Definition of yoga is union, right? To unite, but it's a share. We sit around sometimes on our yoga mats, or and have a sharing session based on whatever's going on with us. The thing that I love about it is I call them, they're all recovery meetings.
That's right.
They're all recovery meetings.
That's right.
And I say, because everyone is welcome, because we're all recovering from something, right? So everyone is welcome. And that is where there's unity as well, right? Because we're not separating out substances or what your pathway is. It's just you're welcome. Come, let's share, let's connect. And then I always followed it with, like bring it all up in our share and then follow it with the yoga practice. And it's just a beautiful thing. Oftentimes it's like, and for me too, yoga was the first time I ever felt, and I'll say it, high without the use of drugs, like a way of like feeling really good.
Right.
Like I hadn't felt that good since I have been, it's that feeling, that felt sense of feeling that connection, connected into my body, out of my head, the monkey mind, the squirrel cage, and the peace, that feeling of being home. Like, right. Oh, there you are. There I am.
We've forgotten who is, that I have dumped so much stuff.
Yeah.
On top of that, right?
Yeah.
I've forgotten that there was a piece of me to connect to that was beyond all the bullshit.
Right.
That was beyond all the bullshit, right? and being able to reconnect with that peace open up everything else. And the other thing I just want to point out with, like you said this earlier, Y12SR is an adjunct, right?
Yeah.
You used that word a little bit earlier. This is, I still do 12-step meetings. I still speak to a therapist, right? I got all those tools in my tool basket, right?
Yeah.
This girl needs all the tools. I need all the tools, right? So all those tools are in my tool basket, right? Y12SR, like as you said, I spoke to a little bit earlier, are really a way to connect all those things. Yeah. It's this connection between all. So this container, right, is able to support all the crap that goes on in life in a different way, right? And appreciate the joys,
yeah,
right? And know that all of it comes and goes. All of it comes and goes, right? Mm-hmm. We're standing on a rock that's spinning in space, right? It moves, it changes, right?
And we need different things at different times, right? And you said it in the beginning, it's an and.
It's an and.
It's an and.
Right.
So how can we find Y12SR? Or how can we connect with you? If anyone's interested in becoming a Y12SR leader, bringing it into their community?
I love it. Please do. Please do. And like Kim said, this is all A's, right? We say all A's.
All A's.
Yeah. Oftentimes I'll joke and say that means all asses are welcome in this space. Right? Everyone. It is for anyone dealing with their own addictive behavior or affected by the addictive behavior of others. That's kind of in like our mission statement, or one of the statements that we use about Y12SR. And I often say, for me, that's one of the most brilliant sentences that I think I've ever written, because who's not included with that? We're all affected, even if it's not us directly that's dealing with the substance or behavior. We're all affected by it, right? We're all affected by it.
I love that. Even if you're affected by the addiction of someone else, right? So that's all inclusive.
Or even if you think you're not, the economic effects of this are so enormous. It is affecting you, whether you look at that or not, right?
Yeah.
It's affecting you, right? The human cost of this thing, right? Someone dies of an overdose every 5.5 minutes. Every 5.5 minutes, right? It is affecting humanity, right? And that's just drugs, right? That's not talking about all the rest of the stuff.
Wow.
Right? It affects humanity, right? So everyone is welcome in a Y12SR class.